Okay. Then we still have some things to take care, like contributions as bullets. Typically, I want you to articulate your most important contributions for your paper to be accepted, for publication. Starting with your most important contribution, then your second most important contribution, then your third one. Typically 3, 4, at most 5 bullets. I think 3 and 4, 3 is kind of very typical. Okay, this is a place you highlight. Each bullet is 1 point that could have 2 or 3 sentences or 1 sentence. This is very important because nowadays many people, readers, reviewers are busy people, have so many things to read. If you can have the most important things summarized there, it will be much easier for them, especially for reviewers when they review the paper. Make them hard for them to miss. Okay. Let's come to example. We already said our contributions when we answer our research question, right? Now we just summarize as bullets. I mean it, bullets, you see here, bullets. Our contributions are summarized as follows. Number 1, we devised a closed-loop portable system with a real-time evaluation that was deployed over several months and is accepted by patients. Okay. Number 2, we filtered out our IMU data with separate Butterwidth filters to extract frequency data for the typical gate frequency and the FOG frequency bands, whilst still maintaining the temporal nature of the data. We input this frequency band into our CNN model separately, which improves performance over related works that combine frequency band data. Number 3, our system design provides a performance increase of 13.4 higher F1 score and 10.7% higher accuracy compared with other real-time FOG detection system when evaluated under a leave one subject out setting. Number 4, typically we have 1, 3, but here the first one is also important, the data set. Our FOG dataset is the most FOG-rich dataset to date, with a total of 716 FOG events across 11 patients, contains phrases from the 5 most common FOG triggering scenarios. We're still collecting data from new patients throughout 2023, and our dataset will be made public available upon the conclusion of our project. Okay. All of these 4 points have been explained before in the introduction, but here we summarize them for reviewers and readers to consider how significant our contributions are, whether they want to keep reading. The next thing will be organization of the paper. You can start as the remainder of the paper is organized as follows. Blah, blah, blah. Section 2 will do this. Section 3 will do that, giving the reader a roadmap for the rest of the paper. Many researchers say that this probably is not needed because nobody reads it. Well, it's probably not true because I do read it and many other peers I know read it. Why do they read it? Because they're not obligated to read your whole paper. For people who read your whole paper, the whole paper beyond the introduction, everything, then it's probably not needed for them to have the section organization of the paper. But as I said, people are busy. They will not be motivated unless required. They will not be motivated to read the whole paper unless your paper is so important to them, soak into their blood. In many cases, some of the content will be interesting to them, some will not. For readers, for reviewers, they're obligated to make a decision to accept a paper or reject a paper. If after they read your introduction, they're experts and know how they themselves will write the paper. They have a framework on section 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now they want to know how you're going to write a paper. If you give them the roadmap, they will quickly compare whether your paper has high quality, meet their expectation or not. If yes, they probably will keep reading. If you have better organization, give them bonus sections they have never thought of, they will definitely read that, right? But if the rest of the organization of the paper is much worse than what they're expecting, many of them will not read the rest of the paper very carefully. They will read them quickly to find places to justify why your paper should be rejected. For readers, they will not just read it, right? So that said, since not everybody will read the whole paper carefully, having organization of the paper paragraph will help them determine, give them idea what will be given later, so they can determine which section to read, which section not to read, or which section to read carefully, which section to read quickly. You see what I mean, right? Okay, here you see we have here the remainder of this paper is structured as follows. Section 2 describe high-level view, FOG detection and treatment assistant. So it's a system overview. Section 3 will provide details about specific features we choose to use this detection. So section 3's overview, I expect the system architecture. Section 4 will be the feature engineering, digital signal processing. Then next section will be, section 4 will have the convolutional neural network modeling design. So it's very clear. And if I'm expert, okay, that's something I expect, and then I know the whole story. And then provide information about clinical data collection. That will be the data collection of the data set, right? Then it will be performance evaluation and comparison with other solutions to measure the robustness and performance. Then related work, you see, they will have elaborated version compared with the short version introduction. Finally, they conclude the paper. You see, it's kind of what's a blueprint for the following how many pages? I still have 10 more pages. This is page 2. I still have 10 more pages. Not everybody will be committed to read all the 10 more pages carefully, right? But if the remainder of the paper is organized as that kind of paragraph gives them some ideas, they would definitely appreciate. Okay, so that basically concludes my short course on how to write introduction of your paper. I would appreciate if you have comments, tell me how I can keep revising this part. Okay, I will read comments and potentially add new content to this course to make it better. And also some other things to avoid in introduction. You may be tempted to say what you did not do in your paper instead of what you proposed to do and what you did and evaluate, right? So it's better not to talk about what you did not do in introduction. Instead, you can put it later in your paper. You can have a limitation, discussion, and the future work section to talk about that, right? You want to impress people at the very beginning to sell your solution. And since this is just a 12 pages paper, it cannot cover everything. Later, you can say in future, you can do this and that, right? You don't want to tell people at the beginning, I don't do this, I don't do that. Then people lost interest of reading a paper. Okay, that's it. Thank you.